I'm Anna, and this is a story told from the heart of a mother. That morning, I called David to ask when the wedding would be. Linda looked straight into my eyes and smiled faintly. "We got married yesterday, Mom. We only invited special people." The door didn't slam, but I could hear a quiet click inside my heart. I had already hung the pale pink dress in my closet, next to the new shoes and the silver hair clip David had given me for Mother's Day. A pot of chicken soup, David's childhood favorite, so the family could have something warm after the ceremony. All those small acts ended up warming only an empty kitchen. I didn't get angry right away. A mother's love rarely stays angry for long. I told myself they're young, they value privacy. Maybe they just don't know how to say things kindly. But that night, my phone lit up with photos from the wedding. Linda's family surrounded the couple, glasses raised, everyone smiling brightly. I wasn't hurt because I'd been forgotten. I was saddened because I realized I had taught my children to take my love as something that's simply always there, invited or not. For 3 years, I had supported them quietly. $500 a month for rent, groceries, furniture, medicine. When Linda was sick, I never kept score. I only feared they might struggle. A week after the wedding, Linda called, her voice small as a breeze. "Mom, the rent's late again," the landlord's asking. I took a deep breath and placed my hand over my heart to steady it. The phrase, "special people," still echoed in the kitchen. My voice was soft but firm, like sliding a latch into place. "From now on, I'll only help the people who are truly special to me." There was silence on the other end. I wasn't taking revenge. I was simply drawing a gentle line around my heart. The next morning, I made coffee, as I had for 40 years, then opened my bank book. For the first time, I counted the transfers, the mom, its urgent messages. The total explained why I'd postponed that summer bouquet, why I'd skipped a small trip. I didn't cry. I just whispered to myself, "Anna, you've loved with all your heart. Now, love yourself a little too." That afternoon, David and Linda came with a lawyer. I looked at my son's hands, those same hands that once clung to my shirt during thunderstorms. The man before me was frightened, and when people are scared, they often do foolish things. The lawyer spoke of temporary power of attorney, helping manage finances for peace of mind. I calmly gathered the papers on the table. These documents belong to me. I didn't raise my voice. I only reminded them of small truths. This house is mine. The account is mine. The love I've given you was voluntary, not a legal obligation. I saw them out as if ending a visit that had come at the wrong hour. The next day, I changed the locks and installed cameras not out of suspicion, but for the peace of mind every elderly person deserves. At the bank, I canceled all automatic transfers. On my way home, I stopped by the salon and cut my long-neglected hair. The stylist asked, "What kind of lock did you install, ma'am?" "The best kind for my heart." I smiled. Quiet days followed. Linda called from an unknown number, asking to organize a healing dinner at my house. I asked gently, "How many months of rent are you behind this time?" There was a pause. I understood it wasn't a dinner. It was another plan to manage. I didn't blame her. I too had spent my youth managing, except I used my own 2 hands. Then the papers arrived. They wanted the court to declare me incompetent. On the day of the hearing, I wore simple black. I looked at David, wondering if somewhere inside, that little boy who once promised, "I'll protect you, Mom," still existed, Linda cried. Their lawyer said I'd changed suddenly, installed cameras out of paranoia, cut off contact under influence. My lawyer asked one quiet question. "When was the last time you called your mother without mentioning money?" The room fell into a different kind of silence, the kind that knows shame. When it was my turn, I spoke evenly, like pouring tea, about 3 years of unconditional support, about the pink dress still hanging in my closet, about the night I saw their wedding photos and told myself not to blame them, about the gentle line I drew around my heart. I said, "I stopped sending money not because I love less, but because my love had gone astray. I had unknowingly taught my children that love means paying every bill. I'm here to correct that lesson, though late, that love also means respecting boundaries and maturity." The judge dismissed their petition. No guardianship, no incompetence. I exhaled, as if setting down a heavy basket on the porch. Outside the courtroom, I didn't look at my children with anger. I simply nodded a small greeting from a mother who still believes that everyone has their own day of awakening. I returned home, opened the window, and let the wind pass through the leaves. I thought of Robert, my late husband, and told him I had finally learned to value the money he left us, as I value my own breath. The weeks after were peaceful. I took up painting again, coloring warm orange flowers. My neighbor invited me for afternoon tea. We talked about clouds and seedlings. I went to the bookstore and bought a new journal. On the first page, I wrote 2 lines: hold boundaries with gentleness, love without bargaining. I sold the big house and moved into a small apartment with a sunny balcony. I donated part of my savings to a foundation protecting elders from financial abuse because stories like mine aren't rare. I bought soft shoes, walked every morning through the park, cooked small meals for myself, and invited new friends' conversations without bills, without expectations. I didn't lock my heart, I just added a latch. One day, if David knocks, I'll make tea and ask how he's been. I won't bring up the past, nor open my wallet. I'll see my son as a man learning self-reliance, a lesson I may have taught wrongly out of too much love. As for Linda, I wish her well that she learns to protect herself, and if ever she apologizes, not to seek forgiveness, but peace. People ask, do you regret it? I smile. Regret is a room with no windows. I choose gratitude, grateful that my heart is still warm enough to love without bitterness, clear enough to set boundaries without building walls. Grateful that after years of giving to others, I've returned in time to care for myself. If you've read this far, maybe you too have loved someone until you forgot yourself. I'm not teaching a lesson, I'm simply offering one quiet, motherly thought. To love your child is to give them wings, not a cushion of money. And to love yourself is to place a hand on your heart and whisper, I am my own special person. I'm Anna. I'm 72. I still cook good chicken soup, still grow warm orange flowers, still wait for a message that says nothing about money. I've learned to love with gentler hands and smiling eyes even when I must close a door, so that one day, perhaps, it might open again in true affection. Linda and David may need more time. As for me, I've already found my own season of sunlight.